It's a very chilly morning. I can feel the breeze of the ocean. The birds are singing, but it's Trainer Alex again, and today I'll be taking you through electric fence installation as one of the security system measures. So electric fence installation is putting a barrier which can provide electric shock to deter animals or people from crossing the boundary. So I'll be taking you through on actually the precaution measures, things that you need to observe, the tools, and specifically material and the processes that you need for fence installation. We understand that fence installation is used in wide area, that is agriculture, security, and wildlife service. But before then, let's preview types of electric fence. In my part 1, I had only captured the ground and wall top electric fence, but still fence can be categorized further into permanent, temporary, grid powered, that is with the mains, or solar powered, battery powered, among the rest. The benefit of installing an electric fence involves enhanced perimeter security, that is it, deterring intruders, that is creating a barrier, is integration with alarm system, and cost-effective. Is a cost-effective security system where you will have to worry less about your security once this is in place. Remember, electric fence plays a very big role nowadays in business, in the industry, and that's why you'll see small chains running across to prevent entry and also to ensure that the perimeter is well protected as well. The safety precaution in safety consideration is one thing you need always to know, because when you're carrying out a fence installation, you need to understand that there are measures that you need to carry on as a installer or a technician in this case, or an engineer. Use proper insulated tools, ensure that the power is disconnected. Also, there's use of ensuring that there's proper grounding, that is the earthing. Remember, the fence only uses live and grounding. Proper signage, very important. Make sure that there's signage at least every 15 meters. Complies with local regulation, that is it, very important. And then consider animal welfare if it's for wildlife and for agriculture, that is it. Remember, the voltage should not exceed 4000 volts if you're doing it for the animal. And then the tools, I'll just focus on a few tools that are very effective in the fence installation. That one involves the wire tightener. You have the chain strainer, you can see it there. You have the wire twisting tool. You have the electric fence voltage tester. You can also use a voltmeter, yes, or a digital multimeter if the digital voltage range can go up to 10,000, no problem. And then we have the fence wire plier or cutter, as it is, among other electrical installation set of tools. Remember, these are just specifically for electric fence. Without these, you can still install a fence, but with a lot of struggle. So that's why we are capturing just a few of it. And then from there, I would like to take you through to the second part, which is the installation procedure. Remember, everything starts from the planning. And in the planning, what you're focusing on specifically is the survey. Understand the perimeter, understand if it's a wall top fence, understand the area, the perimeter around the wall. If it's just a ground, a bare land, then you need to understand the edges, where you're going, the corners, the limits, and that. Then from there, use that information to determine the number of poles, that's post that you need. The post height will also determine the number of wires you're going to install. In that manner, in that part, we call the sizing. You do the survey, then you proceed to sizing, choosing the fence component and also sizing the quantity of this component. Very important. Energizer, insulators, all that are determined with how you are doing it. After you have chosen your fence component and you have everything in place, then you proceed now to the third step, which is to install the fence post. And the fence post starts by digging the hole. If it's in the ground, you'll have to dig the hole, and the hole should be at least 2.5 to 3 feet deep. And if it's on wall mount, then you'll have to create, either depending with your posts. If it's a bracket, the ones you'll use maybe nuts and need to mount it on the wall, or you'll just have to make small holes on the wall and then reinforce your posts with the concrete. It's okay. Then thereafter, you will install the insulators on the poles to ensure that the electric fence wire does not come in contact with the metallic post, or in that manner. And then thereafter, you will draw your fence that is running the wire. From there, you go ahead to install now the grounding system. Remember, we said there another very important system for the fence is the grounding. Instead, ensure that we have the the electrodes running the ground at intervals of at least 10 feet apart for proper grounding. Ensure that you also have the wires running up and down. Then from there, another thing you should do is to connect the energizer and test the fence. You connect the energizer and test the fence, and then also install gates. The gates are separate. Remember, you cannot create a system that deters you again from entering. The gates are an option for whoever is in control to access. Whenever you switch it off, it allows you to access, and then from once you're inside, you place it on, and there's no entry again for any other intruder. That's very important. Also, I've prepared wiring diagram for both a ground and a wall fence. For this case, this one is a ground, here you can see, and it's a battery powered ground fence. And then you can see how it is. An animal stepping on the ground and touching the fence completes the circuit and gets the shock in pulse form. And then we have the solar energizer, seeing it on the post there, that red icon, that the fence energizer for this case is small because it can take the power. It's taking its power from the battery, as you can see. In addition, there's now the wall top electric fence, and is also supplied from the mains. As you can see the gate contacts. So when the gate is closed, the fence is live. When the gate is open, the fence is open as well as it is. So all the rest may follow the same. So the energizer with the ground and the live fence connected and seeing it is. And also we are using energizer, as you can see it. So the legal compliance also very important. Like I said, you need to observe the local regulations. If you're doing in a big city, you need to acquire permits. If for the sake of safety, you need to comply with both national and international standards, like the IE regulations or the IEC codes for energizers as well. Warning signs be clearly visible, marked with a standardized electric symbol for shock. Public safety, make sure that wherever you're doing it, you can avoid, it's well marked to avoid accidental contact. Remember, you can be sued if it harms someone without the consent. Then we have the voltage limit. I've said it should not exceed 10,000. For the animal welfare, should not exceed 4,000. And then shared boundaries, get the consent of the neighbor or the property owner. Very important. Just don't rush into making your security priority and ignoring other aspects of compliance. Remember, you can install a fence and it becomes a problem to you. This is to the client who is intended to install, but for the electrician out there or a technician in the electric field, it's you to advise the client accordingly. It's very important that you advise the client accordingly on matters compliance. Compliance is one of the precautions you need to put in place. Why do we insist on compliance? Because it's our mandate as the technicians to ensure that every system we install is suitable to the user. And then maintenance tip for the fence: ensure you do the regular voltage testing, check for the vegetation and debris, ensure they don't come in contact with the fence, it will cause leaking. Then inspect the bracket insulators to ensure that they're in good shape. Also battery and energizers maintenance. If you're using a battery powered, ensure the battery is also well maintained, if it's flooded type and all that. Among the rest, I just want to say that this was all about the electric fence. We'll be doing it practically and you'll be able to see it. And for the next part of the notes, I'll be capturing on assistive installation. See you then. Thank you for watching. Please stay intact by subscribing or following my page, as you can see it there stated on the page. Thank you. The only support you can do is by sharing the video with everyone you like. Remember, sharing is caring. That's why I've taken my time to prepare the slides and to do the video so that you can get the information out there clear and loud. And that's why we're doing it. Thank you again for your time. See you.